Episode 42, 8:30 a.m. in front of the company building. Where is boss? Tanhua had dressed neatly, of course using a man's appearance, and was now waiting patiently for the big boss to come. Where is that damn boss? It is already 8:30 a.m. now, but he is still not here. Who asked her to be ready in front of the company building at 8 a.m.? Tanhua sighed before once again checking her pocket while waiting for Nanshen to arrive. For today's mission, Tanhua had brought a few useful things she might need. She brought 2 sunglasses for disguise and also brought a magazine. Well, actually Tanhua wanted to bring a cap or hoodie, but it is a pity that this world hasn't had a casual cap or hoodie, so Tanhua could only choose sunglasses for disguise. Not only that, this world hasn't had casual caps or hoodies invented, this world also hasn't known the casual concept. Their clothes for today were very formal, even though their destination was probably the amusement park. The clothes were still formal. It was actually weird for Tanhua to wear a shirt and suit to go to an amusement park, but somehow everybody in this world didn't find it to be weird. Only she thought it was weird. When Tanhua was complaining about the fashion concept in this world in her heart, she suddenly heard someone call her, followed by the sight of the black luxury car she often saw. Oi Tanhua, get in quick. The one who called Tanhua was none other than the late boss, Nanshen. Nanshen looked hurried when he called Tanhua to get into his car because he knew he was late. He was so anxious yesterday night that he ended up sleeping at 3 a.m. Because of that, he woke up late, and now he is also so sleepy. Clap. Tanhua hurriedly sat beside Nanshen in the second row as the car quickly departed to the amusement park. So, do you know those two's date plan? Tanhua looked straight at Nanshen's eyes as she asked him about Mishu's date plan. They had to know Mishu's date plan if they want to tail them, right? Yeah, Mishu said that today they will go to the amusement park, have lunch, go to the cinema, shopping, and in the end have dinner. They are going on a date for a whole day. Nanshen looked at Tanhua with a worried face. He didn't expect Renyuan to invite Mishu for a date not only for 2-3 hours but for a whole day. They could do a lot of things, just the two of them then. So first we're going to the amusement park, right? When we arrive, we will wait for those two to appear at the entrance and tail them. Tanhua rubbed her chin while she made a plan to perfectly tail Mishu and Renyuan on their date. Yes. Oh right, we have to tail them, and if we can, prevent them from holding hands or kissing and such. Nanshen nodded his head energetically when he saw how reliable Tanhua could be. He just didn't want Renyuan to have a girlfriend before he did. Moreover, if Renyuan could get such a perfect girlfriend like Mishu, he would be lectured by his parents again. This is what he had to prevent. Tanhua blinked her eyes slowly as she began to understand their true goal in today's mission. So all she had to do was observe those two, and if possible, use any kind of methods to prevent those two from coming into close contact with each other. If it's an amusement park, usually there would be close contact between a couple, so she indeed could understand Nanshen's worry. After all, their mission today is to prevent Mishu and Renyuan from doing anything that can raise weird feelings between the two of them. Okay, I get it. Tanhua folded her arms, looking like a cool gangster, as she looked forward to their mission. 10 minutes later, Tanhua and Nanshen had arrived at the amusement park, and right after they arrived, they immediately spotted Mishu and Renyuan at the entrance of the amusement park. Boss, they are here. Tanhua had already taken out her magazine as one of her disguise tools when she spotted the nicely dressed-up Mishu, who came out from a luxury car with Renyuan. You are right. Let's go tail them now. Nanshen had bought tickets for the two of them, so after they saw Mishu and Renyuan entering the amusement park, they quietly followed behind. The amusement park that day was, as usual, very crowded. There were a lot of people at the entrance, and this was where Tanhua guessed Renyuan would make his move. Renyuan might hold Mishu's hand with the excuse that the place was too crowded. Tanhua was immersed in looking at Renyuan and Mishu's hands that she didn't realize the man beside her had already done the move she predicted Renyuan would use. Grab. Tantan, don't go too far, okay? It will be troublesome if you get lost again. Remembering the last time incident with Lan Yanjin, Nanshen very casually took Tanhua by her wrist as he kept following behind Renyuan and Mishu. Ba-thump! Tanhua, who had her eyes on Mishu and Renyuan, went stiff for a moment when she felt Nanshen's big and warm hand on her wrist. What happened? Tanhua was focused on Renyuan and Mishu, so she was very shocked seeing her hand was being held by Nanshen. But boss, why the hell are you the one who used that move? Shouldn't it be Renyuan? Tanhua's head spun a little, realizing this weird fact. She thought Renyuan would be the one who used this cunning move on Mishu so they could hold hands together. But then, up until now, she only saw Mishu grabbing Renyuan's clothes. Those two didn't hold hands at all. It was her instead who was holding hands. Together with Nanshen. What kind of irony is this? Tanhua's heart beat fast and her face felt hot, but then she told herself that Nanshen didn't have any hidden meaning behind his action. He only wanted her to not get separated from him. Tanhua thought she would be okay by only holding hands after a few seconds, but then, her suffering didn't end at this. The crowd was so crazy that day, until there were quite a lot of people who pushed others to make a way for themselves. The poor Tanhua was coincidentally one of the victims. Tanhua had been walking quite close to Nanshen so that she wouldn't get lost again when suddenly someone bumped into her. Wait, not only bumped, Tanhua was pushed into Nanshen. Ah! Tanhua, who had a petite body, was immediately pushed by the crowd, and when she did, her head splendidly bumped into Nanshen's chest. Bluck! Tanhua was about to rub her pained forehead when suddenly the crowd behind Nanshen also squeezed him toward Tanhua. Squeeze! This time Nanshen's body pressed Tanhua's body when Tanhua was trapped between Nanshen and the people around her, making the poor girl unable to move. She was trapped. Boss! I can't breathe. Tanhua tried to get away from Nanshen, but the crowd kept pushing her, making her almost faint from suffocation. Wait, the crowd. Nanshen also knew Tanhua was in a poor position, and he tried to push people away, but then he was pushed again instead by the people behind him. Her chest. Tanhua suddenly felt her chest was already pressed against Nanshen's body, and she was so afraid her chest might be felt by Nanshen. Isn't this dangerous? Tanhua's chest hadn't pressed Nanshen's body that much, but then the people around her were pressing her so much that she knew, if this kept going, her chest would for sure press against Nanshen's body completely. At that time, if that happened, Nanshen would for sure feel that she had a chest. She had to do something. Shrak! Tanhua took out the magazine she pocketed and put it in front of her chest, and right at this time, someone pushed her again, making her body completely squeeze against Nanshen's body. Tanhua, are you all right? Sensing Tanhua's breath around his chest area, Nanshen looked down and saw his doggo had become a meat patty inside a sandwich of people. No. Tanhua found it hard to breathe, so she raised her head, but then at the same time, Nanshen's head lowered. Tanhua's forehead successfully hit Nanshen's jaw. Tanhua felt like her head was spinning around when her forehead hit Nanshen's jaw. Oh my god, why the hell does she have to suffer? She couldn't breathe and now her forehead hit Nanshen's jaw. Tanhua instantly had a pale face and her eyes turned teary. It hurts, okay? Her forehead turned red now. It hurts. Seeing Tanhua's appearance, who was so miserable with teary eyes, Nanshen couldn't help but chuckle while rubbing Tanhua's red forehead. Struck. There, don't cry, you are a man. Nanshen coaxed Tanhua as he used his free hand to rub Tanhua's forehead gently. He also slowly blew on Tanhua's red forehead to lessen the pain. Well, he indeed felt guilty because Tanhua became like this, because he dragged her to tail after Mishu and Renyuan. But, seeing this boy's slightly angry face, he couldn't help but want to tease him. Nanshen didn't know why, but seeing Tanhua like this, he suddenly thought of having a little brother. If he had a little brother, then maybe he would do the same thing as he did now, coaxing this grumpy kiddo. Bathum. Alright. Tanhua's heart suddenly beat faster when she felt the cold air on her forehead coming from Nanshen's mouth. This boss unexpectedly treated her quite nice, huh? Well, she is suffering now because of the boss. It is only a must for the boss to coax her. Nanshen then kept blowing Tanhua's red forehead while trying to pass through the sea of people. Well, only after a while when the crowd had lessened, Tanhua and Nanshen could finally walk side by side again. At this time, Tanhua and Nanshen thought they would lose sight of Mishu and Renyuan. After all, they were pushed away by the crowd for a few minutes, so Renyuan and Mishu must have gone by now. Now Renyuan and Mishu must have gone while they were being sandwiched by the crowd. How could they tail them now? Tanhua was about to sigh in disappointment, but then they suddenly spotted Mishu and Renyuan not far from their place. There it is, Mishu and Renyuan. Heish, she was so lucky to still be able to find Mishu and Renyuan even after the previous incident. Tanhua was about to excitedly tell Nanshen that she just saw Renyuan and Mishu not far from their place when suddenly, Nanshen whispered in her ear with a worried tone of voice. Tanhua, look, Renyuan stretched out his hand to Mishu. They are going to hold hands together. Nanshen's lips were so close to Tanhua's ear when he whispered, making Tanhua almost punch his stomach out of reflex. Don't get too close, boss, don't whisper either. Well, Tanhua knew Nanshen had to whisper, so Renyuan and Mishu wouldn't hear his voice, but was it necessary to get this close? I get it, boss. Let's bump into them and make them separated. Tanhua's face had turned red like a boiled crab, so, in order to hide her embarrassment, she hurriedly ran away to Mishu's place while dragging Nanshen's hand. Nanshen, of course, didn't know that what he just did nearly made Tanhua's heart burst out from its place. Come on, boss, you lower your head and we run between the two of them. After this, they will pass the crowded place, so Renyuan won't have any reason to hold Mishu's hand. Tanhua looked at Renyuan, who was about to hold Mishu's hand, with a serious face. Now? Nanshen was still catching his breath when he had to follow Tanhua closely as she ran because his wrist was being held by Tanhua now. Tanhua took a deep breath to start another sprint run as she counted in her heart to interfere at the right time. 1, 2, 3, now! Swoosh! Tanhua ran as fast as she could while dragging Nanshen with her. She ran toward Mishu and Renyuan, so when Renyuan's hand was about to hold Mishu's hand, Tanhua's body blocked them successfully. Renyuan immediately retracted his hand when Tanhua ran past between him and Mishu. Of course, Tanhua was followed by Nan Shen, who had his head lowered to the max. Oh my. Renyuan must not see his face, otherwise this would be awkward. Right after Tanhua ran between Mishu and Renyuan, the two of them had arrived at a lesser crowded place, so when Renyuan wanted to hold Mishu's hand, he realized the situation wasn't good. There wasn't any reason to hold Mishu's hand now. Renyuan's face instantly turned dark, while Mishu, who didn't know anything about Renyuan's plan, still had that cute smile on her face. Oh, we succeeded? Tanhua, you are so awesome. Good job. Nan Shen patted Tanhua's back with quite a bit of strength as he felt excited. He knew Renyuan had high pride, so he had to find a reason to do anything, but he didn't expect this Tanhua to use Renyuan's nature to prevent those two from holding hands. This Tanhua is a genius. Master of relationships. Heh, I did it right. Tanhua grinned when Nan Shen praised her. She felt happy. Nan Shen, who saw Tanhua's happy face, couldn't help but feel happy too. It turned out he also liked it when this boy had a smile on his face. At this moment, Nan Shen suddenly thought of something. He thought about how he treated Tanhua like his dog or his slave, but then this boy still helped him with his problem, even had fun with him. Looking back at his past actions, he felt it wouldn't be suitable for Tanhua to remain as his doggo. Now, he felt Tanhua was more like his little brother. After all, he was the sole child of his parents, so he didn't have a sibling. Wouldn't it be good if Tanhua became his little brother? Like a sworn brother or something. After all, Tanhua had helped him a lot up until today, while he only looked at him like he was a pet. Gah! He is the worst. Nan Shen's face turned gloomy when he realized how badly he treated Tanhua before. He always made Tanhua caught in his trap, treated him like his deceased doggo, and such, when Tanhua was like an angel to him. Nan Shen looked at Tanhua's innocent and happy face with gloomy eyes. What is it, boss? Tanhua tilted her head cutely as she stared into Nan Shen's eyes with her round, big eyes. Ah, such a cute boy. How could he treat such a cute boy like what he did before? He should pamper this cutie to be his little brother instead. Grab. Tanhua. Nan Shen grabbed Tanhua's shoulder very suddenly, startling Tanhua, who always had her eyes on Mishu and Renyuan. What? Tanhua stuttered when Nan Shen suddenly grabbed her shoulder and made her look at him. I always treat you like a doggo and such. I apologize. Nan Shen very bluntly and straightforwardly said his apology to Tanhua, catching her off guard. Boss. What the? Why did he suddenly become like this? Tanhua was startled by Nan Shen's sudden apology. Well, indeed, she felt that Nan Shen always treated her like his deceased doggo, but deep inside her heart, she knew Nan Shen only wanted to tease her, since she knew Nan Shen could be quite childish. So, she never thought Nan Shen's attitude toward her was something abusive or something. In fact, she knew Nan Shen did a lot of things behind her back for her sake, just like the bullying case. If she was only considered someone unimportant to him, Nan Shen wouldn't bother to leave his work to go saving her. Also, after the incident, she noticed a lot of employees disappeared from the company. Nan Shen must have fired them because they bullied her. This made Tanhua realize that Nan Shen was actually a good person behind his two-faced personality. He was indeed an idiot, childish, and had an inferiority complex toward Lan Yanjin, but she knew Nan Shen cared for her. If not, he wouldn't continuously let her have a sleepover at his place. He wouldn't care whether she was bullied or not. B-boss? Tanhua gulped nervously when she saw Nan Shen lower his head and make a 90-degree bow to her. B-boss, stop bowing. It's embarrassing. Please forgive me for my past actions to you. Nan Shen finally raised his head again and stroked Tanhua's face gently as he said so. Yeah, it's no problem. Tanhua put a wry smile on her face, getting confused by Nan Shen's sudden behavior. Seeing Nan Shen all polite like this, she suddenly felt weird. The true Nan Shen is evil and mean. She was already used to it, so now when he turned into a real gentleman, she felt like Nan Shen treated her like any other person out there. Oh boss, just be yourself in front of her, could you? I want you to be my little brother, do you want to? Nan Shen finally said what he wanted inside his heart. He always wanted a brother, and he felt he had a good relationship with Tanhua, which is rare for someone wicked like him. So he was quite eager to adopt Tanhua to be his brother. But brother? What kind of nonsense now? A brother? Like adopted? Tanhua's head went dizzy with all this sudden event. She just accepted Nan Shen's super rare apology, and now he wanted to take her as his brother? It would be nice though to have a backing like Nan Shen. But she is a girl. She couldn't be a brother. She should be a sister instead. Author, yes, I will treat you as my little brother from now on. So? We're like sworn brothers? How is it? I feel comfortable around you. Nan Shen flashed a happy smile, which was actually the first time he smiled with a true smile. Tanhua had to cover her eyes with her hand when she saw Nan Shen's sparkling angel-like smile. This smile wasn't the fake smile he used to wear. This smile made him look several times more handsome than usual. A thump. A thump? Gah! Her heart. Her poor heart can't take it if Boss Nan smiles like this. All right then. Tanhua awkwardly scratched her head and turned her head around to avoid seeing Nan Shen's lethal smile. Oh God, please don't let Nan Shen smile like this to other people, especially to a girl. That girl would die from happiness. Yeah. Nanshen's face brightened as he almost hugged Tanhua on the spot, if Tanhua didn't dodge and make Nanshen hug empty air. B-boss, it's embarrassing. Tanhua crossed her arms in front of her chest, feeling as if her lifespan shortened for a year. B-boss was just about to hug her, right? Two men hugging in a public place like this, won't they be seen as a gay couple? It would be bad for Boss Nan's reputation. Humph. I just want to hug my little brother. Nanshen grumbled, feeling dejected when Tanhua refused his hug, but this made Tanhua couldn't help but laugh. Boss Nan could have such an expression too, huh? So cute. Tanhua nearly drooled if she didn't have good self-control right now. Boss Nan is just too adorable, okay? Okay, now don't call me boss anymore. Call me big bro. I'll call you little Huo. Nanshen tightened his fist, looking very energetic when he talked to Tanhua. What? Big bro? Tanhua was kind of embarrassed if she had to call Nanshen big bro. Isn't this kind of embarrassing? Tanhua felt troubled, but in the end, she felt if she called Nanshen big bro, they could be closer with each other than before. So she reluctantly called Nanshen big bro. Okay, big bro. With a sigh and slightly red face, Tanhua managed to call Nanshen big bro. Nanshen had gone insane when Tanhua called him big bro with that kind of expression. Why does this boy look hella cute? So adorable, he wanted to pack him up and bring him home. Good, little Huo. Nanshen happily stroked Tanhua's head again when Tanhua was looking around her surroundings with a slightly bad feeling. Why did she suddenly have a bad feeling? Where is Mishu and Ren Yuan? Tanhua was too immersed in talking with Nanshen that she didn't pay attention to those two. Even Nanshen also didn't pay attention, even though the purpose of their mission was to tail those two. Mishu and Ren Yuan had gone from their place. Boss, Mishu and Ren Yuan are gone. Tanhua looked around her for the nth time again, but she didn't find those two. Tanhua thought that Nanshen would also panic because he lost sight of Mishu and Ren Yuan. But then, contrary to what she thought, Nanshen looked so calm upon hearing the news. It's okay, I saw them going to the roller coaster area. Nanshen rubbed Tanhua's cheek again and casually held her hand, dragging her to a food area. Boss, I mean big bro, where are we going? We have to quickly chase after them, right? Tanhua, who was being dragged to the food area, felt extremely confused. They were here because Nanshen said he wanted to tail Mishu and Ren Yuan on their date, so what are they doing here? The roller coaster line is long, even if they might use a VIP ticket, so let's grab some food first before going there. Nanshen pointed to a lot of food stalls in front of him with a gentle smile on his face. Wah, food. Tanhua was simple-minded, so when Nanshen bribed her with food, she instantly forgot her mission to tail Mishu on her date. Food. There are hot dogs, popcorn, sausage, hamburgers, and such. Oh, there's candy. Ah, cookies and chocolate. Tanhua's eyes sparkled as if she was seeing gold while her mouth felt watery. She almost drooled if Nanshen didn't make her snap out of her daze. Here, money. Buy anything you want. I'll wait here. Nanshen sat down at a table, settled in the food area, as he gave Tanhua a pack of money. Seeing this, Tanhua didn't even hesitate to snatch Nanshen's money and ran away to buy any food she wanted, without feeling reluctant at all. Boss Nan was super kind today, so she had to take advantage of this. Maybe he was possessed by a kind ghost or something, but this is good. Food, here she comes. With a swoosh. Tanhua left Nanshen alone at the table to buy the food she wanted. Seeing Tanhua's shameless behavior, Nanshen really couldn't help but laugh. Pfft, that boy really. He looks like a squirrel when he acts like that. He might come back here bringing a bunch of food while munching with his cheeks bulged. Nanshen chuckled when he saw Tanhua energetically buy food from one stall to another stall and thought that his decision to stop for a while and not tail Mishu to the roller coaster area was really good. Why is it good? Because he couldn't stand roller coasters. Nanshen was afraid that he had to ride the roller coaster if he kept wanting to tail Mishu, so why not just watch them from afar while he enjoyed the view of his new little brother eating happily? It would be better for his heart. He just couldn't stand roller coasters at all. Once he rode a roller coaster when he was in elementary school, and after that, he puked non-stop for an hour. He hated roller coasters. Now he had to hide this embarrassing fact from his little brother, otherwise that boy would look down on him as his big bro. When Nanshen was thinking hard about his plan to avoid roller coasters, suddenly a sausage touched his lips and he subconsciously bit into it. Nanshen was still in a daze, and didn't realize the sausage he just ate was something Tanhua intentionally gave to him, so when he paused for a second, he realized it. Sausage? Sausage? Nanshen quickly raised his head and saw his cute little brother was feeding him sausage with a grin on his face. Hey, boss, big bro, do you like it? Tanhua had gone back from shopping for food, and the table was instantly filled with the food she brought. She just put down the food she brought when she saw Nanshen lowered his head and seemed like immersed in deep thought, so she thought Nanshen felt unwell or something. Just like that, Tanhua thought of sharing her food with Nanshen to cheer him up, and this ended up with Nanshen eating sausage for the first time in his life. Sausage for commoners, of course. What is this? Nanshen was taken aback when Tanhua suddenly fed him food. This sausage for commoners? Wouldn't be bad for his stomach? Sausage! Tanhua happily ate the rest of the sausage. Nanshen just ate from without realizing that she just did an indirect kiss. Tanhua was happy to find commoner food precisely because she never tried them before. Popcorn, hot dog, sausage, hamburger, and such. All of them were made by her family chef in her previous world. She never tried such food sold in amusement parks or in cinemas and such. That's why she was so excited when she knew she could finally taste these commoner foods. It was surprisingly good. Nanshen, who saw Tanhua eating happily, could only sigh silently in his heart. He never ate this kind of commoner food, but if his cute little brother fed him with it, how could he refuse? Indeed, Tanhua didn't eat all the food she bought alone. She felt bad if she ate all of these alone while Nanshen only watched her eat, so occasionally she would share the food she was eating with Nanshen. Ah, open your mouth, big bro. Tanhua this time fed Nanshen with the hot dog she just took a bite from. This hot dog was delicious, and Nanshen would surely like it too. Looking at the smiling Tanhua and the hot dog in front of his eyes, Nanshen didn't have the heart to refuse Tanhua, so he reluctantly took a bite from the hot dog as he ate it slowly. Not bad. Nanshen nodded his head after he ate almost everything Tanhua ate before, as all of them turned out to be quite delicious. Just like that, Tanhua kept feeding Nanshen the food she ate, and the two of them didn't even realize they were just having indirect kisses several times already. 5 minutes later, Twa. I'm full. Tanhua had finished all the food she bought, and now she happily stroked her bear-like belly with sauce all over her cheek. Nanshen, who saw Tanhua's dirty face from the sauce, really wanted to laugh at him and drag him to wash his face, but then thinking that he had to be good to his little brother, he held back the urge to tease Tanhua. You are so clumsy. With a chuckle, Nanshen took out his handkerchief and gently wiped the sauce on Tanhua's lips when she was just about to wipe it by herself, making her flinch subconsciously. Tanhua's face turned slightly red when Nanshen stood up from his chair, just to wipe the remaining sauce on her face, with his precious handkerchief on top of that. Who is this? Boss Nan wouldn't be so kind. Usually, he would just splash water on her or mock her by saying she was similar to his doggo when she ate. But now, did Boss Nan really get possessed by a ghost? How could he not say anything to mock her, and just gently clean up the sauce with his handkerchief? This man isn't Nanshen. He must be a fake, an imposter. Tanhua really felt that Nanshen was weird today and thought he must be an imposter, but then, he looked exactly like the Nanshen she knew, only his behavior changed. Boss Nan, what happened to you? Done. Nanshen chuckled again, after he finished wiping off the sauce on Tanhua's cheek and lips. Nanshen chuckled because he saw how Tanhua's face looked surprised, as if she just saw Satan in front of her eyes. This boy must think he is too kind today, right? Well, he did think the same. Actually, he still had the urge to tease this boy, and call him doggo this doggo that, but then remembering he is his little brother now, how could he be so mean? He had to be a kind big brother. Of course, Tanhua had her cheek turn red like a tomato after being treated so kindly, so, in order to hide her red face, Tanhua quickly pointed her finger to the roller coaster area as she said, Mishu and Renyuan are still at the roller coaster area. We can catch up now. Tanhua quickly grabbed Nanshen's wrist and dragged him to the roller coaster area very suddenly to help her forget her chaotic heart. Roller coaster? Roller coaster. Did this damn boy just say roller coaster? No. The line is very long, better just watch those two from afar. Nanshen broke in cold sweat when Tanhua already got him right at the roller coaster area. Ha ha ha, this must be a joke. He can't ride roller coasters at all. He just can't. What if he suddenly throws up or does something embarrassing in front of Tanhua? He will lose his charisma as a big brother. Not at all. Look, the VIP line is so short, we can make it in time to be at the same train with Mishu and Renyuan. Maybe God had decided to punish Nanshen for his past sin of treating Tanhua like a doggo, so very suddenly, the VIP line for the roller coaster got empty very fast. Seeing the really empty line, Nanshen had the urge to buy this amusement park and close down the roller coaster area. Damn bitch. The VIP line was so long before and now it suddenly went empty? Is this magic? Wait. Oh my god. Is this his punishment for treating Tanhua as a doggo before? If so, God, please forgive him. Wait, he can make excuses so as not to ride this damn roller coaster. He is so genius. Nanshen wanted to say his stomach hurt, etc., but then, unfortunately, Tanhua didn't give him time to say these excuses. Tanhua very casually still made Nanshen wait in the VIP line to ride the roller coaster with a happy face. Yeah, roller coaster. She never rode one before, so this must be very exciting. Tanhua could think so now, because she hadn't ridden a roller coaster in her previous world either. But the poor Nanshen already had the urge to puke when he saw the roller coaster in front of him. Nanshen's face immediately turned pale, and he looked like a zombie. Unfortunately, Tanhua didn't see Nanshen's face, which had turned into a complete zombie. She only dragged him to line up, and in less than a minute, the two of them had gotten into the train at the last row, while Renyuan and Mishu sat at 2 rows in front of them. When Nanshen sat down at his seat with the seatbelt already clicked on and ready to depart any time, he could only give a wry laugh as his soul slowly left his body. This must be God's punishment. He is sure. On the other hand, while waiting for the train to depart, Tanhua had an excited expression on her face. This was the first time she would try riding a roller coaster. In her previous world, her parents were too overprotective, so every time she went to an amusement park, she could only play a safe ride, such as a merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, teacup ride, or car racing, etc. All of them are truly safe rides without any excitement. Tanhua had always longed to experience thrilling rides such as a roller coaster or anything that could make people scream. Now, she could finally feel it too. It must be good as to make people scream out of excitement, right? Poor Tanhua was so naive that she had such a thought. While Tanhua looked like she was waiting for the train to suddenly depart at high speed, Nanshen already had the urge to faint after he saw the track. Haha, what a track. There's even an upside-down track. His body would be turned upside down very fast by then? Oh, and that very steep gliding down track. Ha ha ha, he would feel like his butt was floating if he went through that track. He wanted to faint. All right, everyone. The ride will start at 3, 2, 1, go. The person operating the machine gave the last smile to everybody who rode the roller coaster, and right after she said go, the roller coaster departed at very high speed. Swoosh. The moment the train moved, Nanshen immediately grabbed Tanhua's hand and squeezed it as if he was squeezing a plush doll, making Tanhua, who just felt like she was riding wind, nearly scream from the pain. Boss, big bro? What do you do? Tanhua really did whisper to Nanshen's ear while grimacing in pain, but then, before she could finish her sentence, the train passed through the steep gliding down track, making Tanhua almost bite her own tongue. Ah! Tanhua had a shock when she felt her body was gliding down at a very fast speed. What was fun about this thing? Tanhua had a heart attack while Nanshen now moved on to pull Tanhua's neck and hug it as if he would die any minute soon, making Tanhua once again almost die from the lack of air. Big bro. This time when Nanshen hugged Tanhua's neck, the train passed through the upside-down track, and right at this moment, Tanhua felt as if her wig was going to fall down anytime soon. The wind was too much after all. It would be magic if the wig won't be blown off. Her wig. Tanhua, who felt her wig was already ready to fly away and leave her behind, immediately had a heart attack. No, her wig. This time because Tanhua's right hand was gripped by Nanshen and her neck was being hugged, she couldn't react fast when the wig suddenly flew away from her head. Ah, ah, ah. Tanhua tried to reach the wig with her left hand as the train kept speeding. She already had the urge to puke, but getting the wig back became her sole reason why she didn't puke up until now. Lucky Tanhua. While the wig wasn't on her head again, Nanshen didn't see any of this as he put his head on Tanhua's neck and shut his eyes tightly, hoping when he woke up, this nightmare would end. But then, when Tanhua thought her wig would fly away so far, the wig fell on top of Nanshen's head instead. It was super close to her head. She could just reach it with her hand. Lucky! Tanhua moved her left hand to get the wig, but then Nanshen suddenly raised his head a little when he felt the train had slowed down a bit, thinking that the ride had ended. The ride ended? When Tanhua saw Nanshen raised his head a little, out of reflex she slapped his head back to her neck, making Nanshen's view go back to seeing Tanhua's neck. Slap? What the? Little Huo, what are you do? Nanshen was about to raise his head again and scold Tanhua, but the girl kept slapping his head back to its previous position while her hand moved at super high speed, beating the roller coaster speed, to snatch her wig back. Boss Nan, could you please just stay for a while? She needs her wig for God's sake. Right when Tanhua managed to grab the wig on top of Nanshen's head and wore it on her head casually, the train suddenly stopped moving and the ride ended just like that. The ride ended. Nanshen was so happy sensing the train stopped moving that he forgot he still had his head on Tanhua's neck. Nanshen suddenly raised his head and successfully hit Tanhua's jaw with a loud bug sound. Bug. Faint. Tanhua hadn't fixed her wig properly when she felt someone hit her jaw with a very hard thing. The next thing she knew, her surroundings turned dark and she lost consciousness. All the people who rode on the same train as Nanshen and Tanhua had already gotten off earlier than them, including Mishu and Renyuan. So when Tanhua fainted, Mishu and Renyuan had already left the roller coaster area. Huff. The ride ended. Now are you satisfied? Little H. Nanshen, who had already gotten off from the train, shrieked when he saw Tanhua fainted on her seat. Little Huo fainted. This made Nanshen think Tanhua was so scared of the roller coaster until she fainted from shock. It turned out that someone other than him also felt the terror of the roller coaster. Nanshen wanted to say this out loud to the world, that fearing roller coasters until puking afterward was normal since there was this boy who fainted after the ride ended. But then, he remembered he had to take care of this boy who fainted. First of all, he had to do something with this boy. Poor boy, you faint because of the roller coaster. This ride really should be banned. Nanshen never did know that he was actually the one causing the poor Tanhua to faint on the roller coaster. If Tanhua were awake and knew what Nanshen thought, maybe she would punch him to the seventh heaven. Help! Help! Someone faint! Nanshen coughed a little before releasing Tanhua from the seatbelt while asking for help from the nearby people. Hearing Nanshen call for help, The operator of the ride didn't immediately let another batch of people ride the roller coaster yet. Hold the people for now. Someone faint? The operator quickly reacted by not allowing other people to approach the train, as she quickly called for the medical officer around the amusement park. Hearing that someone fainted, the whole roller coaster area turned chaotic at the moment, making Nanshen forget to locate where Mishu and Renyuan went after they rode the roller coaster. The medic team arrived faster than ever, and Tanhua was brought to a safe area to be given proper treatment. In the end, Tanhua and Nanshen didn't do anything to observe Mishu and Renyuan when they rode the roller coaster. The whole scene ended up with Tanhua being left to rest with her head being put on top of Nanshen's lap. 5 minutes later, Tanhua had slowly regained her consciousness. She felt her eyes were so heavy, but she still opened them. Tanhua expected to see the hospital ceiling or such, but then the view she got was Nanshen's handsome face looking down at her. What? What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Why is her head on Nanshen's lap? Is this the legendary romantic scene she often saw in drama? But if two men are doing it, it's not romantic at all. It's scary. Tanhua wanted to immediately run away from Nanshen after thinking like this, but then Nanshen pushed her head back to his lap. Srak, where are you going? You are still dizzy, right? Stay here for a while. Nanshen pushed Tanhua's head back to his lap, making Tanhua unable to go anywhere. And no, Tanhua, who felt her head go back to its original place, was about to struggle or roll her body to escape when Nanshen suddenly flicked Tanhua's forehead and laughed, looking like a bright sun. Don't be shy with your big bro. Just go ahead and sleep. Nanshen chuckled as he suddenly felt relieved seeing Tanhua had woken up. Thanks God little Huo had woken up. He thought little Huo was sick, but turned out he is only a bit tired. That's what the medical team said. Now little Huo had woken up and maybe they should go tail Mishu again, but honestly, he felt little Huo should sleep more. Look at his face. He looks pale. Big bro, this is weird. Tanhua turned her head to avoid seeing Nanshen's face in front of her eyes again, while still having her head on Nanshen's lap. Bathump. Oh my God, her heart was beating so fast. What if it suddenly stops beating? Tanhua was nervous when she lay her head on top of Nanshen's lap. This was too intimate. Won't people look at them as if they were a gay couple? What is weird? It's okay, little Huo. Just lay down for a while until you feel better. Nanshen slowly moved his hand to stroke Tanhua's hair. He didn't feel weird at all having Tanhua sleep on his lap. After all, this boy is his little brother now. It's his duty as the big brother to take care of the little brother, right? But Tanhua still felt guilty to be treated like this. Wasn't it weird for a mere employee to be treated like this? Now she felt Nanshen was truly weird. Aside from being afraid that Nanshen would be seen as gay, she was also afraid of Nanshen's unusually kind treatment. Is this another trap for her? Nanshen, who turned into this kind gentleman, is scary for her. Are you worried that people might see you and me as a gay couple? Nah, they won't. They see us as siblings. Nanshen had his fun stroking Tanhua's hair, which was a high-quality wig. Little Huo's hair is so smooth. He likes it. While Tanhua was forced to rest on Nanshen's lap with her hair being played with, Nanshen was enjoying his time stroking Tanhua's hair as much as he wanted. This feels like stroking a dog. Wait, stroking a little brother. Tanhua, who had her hair brushed here and there, instead of feeling good or sleepy, felt nervous. She could feel how her heart beat faster in fear of her wig being brushed off. What if Nanshen realizes her hair was a wig? What if the wig falls? Big bro, what about Mishu? We won't tail her again? Tanhua was stubborn, so she immediately got an excuse to get away from Nanshen's affectionate treatment. Right. If they weren't going to chase after Mishu and Renyuan, they wouldn't be able to tail them. Don't worry. I think they might go to the haunted house. We will find them there. For now, you should just sleep, okay? After quite a long pause, Nanshen went back to stroking Tanhua's hair with a blissful expression on his face. Who cared about those two? Right now, he just wants to spend quality time with his little bro. Anyway, stroking little Huo's hair is unexpectedly pleasant. Hearing this, Tanhua's face darkened, and with a sigh, she gave up. Now that Nanshen had said so, she could only be obedient and try to sleep. Sleep, Tanhua, sleep. 5 seconds later. She can't sleep. Tanhua couldn't sleep at all, and in the end, she could only pretend to be asleep. She had to wait until Nanshen was satisfied playing with her hair. 10 minutes later. Big bro, I feel better. Let's go now, okay? Tanhua, who had reached her limit, raised her head and got off from Nanshen's lap as fast as she could before Nanshen stopped her again. All right, if you say so. Seeing Tanhua, who had already run away leaving him behind, Nanshen felt quite sad. He was still unsatisfied. He wanted to stroke little Huo's hair for a little longer. Nanshen grumbled while chasing after Tanhua, who had already started to find Mishu and Renyuan. At this time, Tanhua had already tried to find the figure of Mishu and Renyuan among the sea of people. Where is Mishu? Is she around here? Mishu. Found her. Mishu. Found her. Big bro, I found Mishu and Renyuan. They are right there, lining up for haunted house. Tanhua's voice, which was excited earlier, suddenly turned quieter when she realized Mishu and Renyuan were lining up to enter the haunted house. Haunted house? She hated it. She couldn't enter such a scary house. She would faint. Tanhua was no good with ghosts and scary places, so when she saw the haunted house, she almost fled away from the place. But, unfortunately, before Tanhua could run away, Nanshan had caught up to her. Grab! Nanshan suddenly took Tanhua by her wrist to prevent her from running here and there like a dog without a leash, making Tanhua unable to run even if she wanted to. Oh right, they are there, let's go there now. This time, it was Nanshan's turn to drag Tanhua to line up at the haunted house area. Nanshan was so fast to drag Tanhua that she was suddenly lined up to enter the haunted house. No! Haunted house! Big bro, can we not enter this haunted house? Tanhua's hand was shaking as sweat began to drench her back. She was really afraid of darkness and ghosts. Yeah, it might be lame for a 22-year-old woman to be afraid of darkness and ghosts, but she was. She was lame. She admitted it. Now, just get her out of this situation. Why not? Usually a haunted house would be the best place for people to act lovey-dovey. Renyuan might hug Mishu, who is scared of ghosts and such, so we have to tail them and stop them. Nanshan's eyes sparkled with determination while he tightened his grip on Tanhua's wrist, making the poor girl almost scream out of pain. Damn it! Nanshan's hand acted as a leash for her neck. Huh? She can't escape. Tanhua actually wanted to say she is unwell, but then she was worried she had to sleep on Nanshan's lap again, so she just kept quiet and hoped Nanshan had a stomachache or something else that would prevent them from entering the haunted house. But it was already 5 minutes, and Nanshan seemed all right. They were now so close to the entrance of the haunted house. From here, Tanhua could already hear a few screams coming from the other visitors who were inside the haunted house now. God, how scary would it be? Looking at the people in front of her who were decreasing fast, Tanhua had already given up her plan to escape. She saw how fast they lined up, and even from this position, they could see Mishu and Renyuan. She really had to enter the haunted house. This is checkmate for her. Nanshan didn't notice Tanhua's gloomy face as his focus was on Mishu and Renyuan, so poor Tanhua could only act like a ragdoll being dragged here and there to line up. 10 minutes later. Now, she and Nanshan were already at the very front. Well, Mishu and Renyuan were already inside the haunted house, and now it was their turn. Even from this position, when they hadn't entered the haunted house, Tanhua could already see how eerie it must be inside the haunted house. In this house, visitors had to walk while getting disturbed by many kinds of ghosts until they found the exit. Sounds easy, but for Tanhua, this feels like exploring a maze. Would this be like Maze Runner? She didn't want to. Let's just go back now. Tanhua was about to run away after accidentally seeing a glimpse of the horror setting of the haunted house when suddenly she heard the one guarding the haunted house speak up. Next, please. The one guarding the entrance of the haunted house quickly let Tanhua and Nanshan enter the haunted house with a face full of smiles, nearly making Tanhua slap that person out of anger. Don't smile. It's scary. Don't let go of my hand, okay? When they entered, they were immediately welcomed by darkness, which made Tanhua's body freeze on the spot, but thankfully Nanshan acted fast. He tightened his grip on Tanhua's hand so as not to let her go missing inside this maze-like haunted house. Usually in this kind of situation, Tanhua would feel excited when the person she might like held her hand and soothed her. But Tanhua was never a romantic person to begin with. Instead of feeling her heart beat faster because of this sweet, bubbly scene, her heart beat faster because of fear. She was so scared, for God's sake. It was so dark here, and even though there wasn't any ghost yet, she already had goosebumps everywhere. Can she shout, like screaming "Ka" or such? Can she? She can't. She was dressed like a man now, so if she acted like a scaredy cat, Nanshan would feel disgusted, right? Okay, she had to be brave. Be brave. This is just a fake ghost, just a fake haunted house. She can do it.